Yes, good afternoon people. Another quick video. Today I'm going to talk about George Galloway's win in the Rochdale by-election and the implication it can have moving forward. Before I get into it, share, comment, like and subscribe. George Galloway has emerged victorious in the Rochdale by-election, but his win has been met with attempts by the government, opposition and the media to discredit it by insinuating that intimidation played a role. George Galloway served as a Labour MP from 1967 to 2003. In 2003, he was expelled from Tony Blair's Labour Party due to his prominent opposition to the Iraq War. In 2004, Galloway became a member of the Respect Party and then the party's leader by late 2013. He was elected as MP for Bethnal Green and Bowl in 2005's general election. In 2019, he was sacked from Talk Radio for making anti-Semitic comments. George Galloway has built his career on advocating for Gaza and raising awareness about the struggles in the Middle East. However, he faced intense backlash and criticism during and after the Iraq War, causing him to be ostracised and mocked. He has also been accused of holding anti-Semitic views due to his outspoken criticisms of the Israeli state, even going as far to as refer it as a gangster state. He won the Rochdale by-election, gaining more votes than the Tories, Labour, Liberal Democrats and the Reform Party put together. In an hastily arranged security briefing outside number 10, Rishi Sunak called George Galloway's win in Rochdale alarming and terrifying. He also criticised him for glorifying Hezbollah and having links to Nick Griffin, the former BNP leader. He added, "There are forces here that are trying to tear us apart. Extremist groups are a growing threat to the British democracy, and we must come together to fight this threat. The police should not merely manage the protests, they must police them, and they have our full backing." It's like he's telling them to burst heads now. What's going on? As a patriotic nation, it is imperative that we take action against extremist protests. Is he calling us out to arms? Surely this is incitement. He's inciting the population. The use of such rhetoric is divisive and is causing fear and stress among the population. Sajid Javid was even more critical, branding George Galloway's by-election win a vote for toxic and divisive politics. George Galloway, the newly elected Workers' Party MP, not one to mince his words, told Sky News, "You talk as if this man is God. We're talking about little Rishi Sunak at the fag end of his prime ministership. Don't talk to me as if he's come down from the mount with tablets of stone." One thing with George, he don't play, he's busting shots right now, busting shots. The ultimate establishment takedown. When asked about Keir Starmer, he added, "Keir Starmer, this is for Gaza. You will pay a high price for the role that you have played in enabling, encouraging and covering for the catastrophe presently going on in occupied Palestine in the Gaza Strip." Mr. Galloway campaigned heavily on an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and won with 40% of the vote. What are the political implications of this? Well, considering his history of making anti-Semitic statements, this is a significant surprise. The public is turning away from the two main parties and seeking alternative options due to their loss of trust. While Galloway might not be universally favoured, it is important to acknowledge that he was democratically elected, unlike Rishi Sunak. The citizens of Rochdale have chosen to overlook the politician's past wrongdoings and elected him into office. This is a significant setback for both Labour and Conservative Party, as it reveals that the people of Rochdale would prefer to support an alleged anti-Semite candidate rather than one from either major party. It will be intriguing to see if this pattern repeats itself in other regions during the upcoming election. Is this considered a protest vote? I would argue that it was a vote for humanity, with a staggering 76% of the country supporting a ceasefire. Regardless of Rishi Sunak's attempts to frame it differently, the public clearly rejected his stance against calling for a ceasefire. And again, let's not overlook the fact that George Galloway campaigned solely for an immediate ceasefire and achieved something that both Labour and the Tories were unwilling to do. The Tory government and the Labour opposition are solely responsible for disregarding the public's concerns and refusing to call for a ceasefire. Perhaps this will serve as a much needed wake-up call for them to start prioritising governing for the people rather than catering to the interests of the Runtings crew. In the upcoming weeks, I anticipate the standard smear campaign that will resurface all of Galloway's past wrongdoings in an effort to discredit him. Hopefully, the public has become more discerning and will not be swayed regardless of their personal opinions of George Galloway. He consistently speaks the truth, which often poses a problem for the establishment. Those who have a strong following and speak the truth are often targeted for takedown. He has even extended an invitation to Jeremy Corbyn to unite and create a formidable socialist party with Corbyn at the helm. Such a team would pose a true challenge to the two dominant parties. And I'll end with this. The marches have drawn in crowds of tens of thousands from various nationalities over the past 4 months. While they have been generally peaceful, as with any large gathering, there may be a few individuals intent on causing trouble. However, it is important to note that there have been minimal arrests. The widespread violence in Gaza and the lack of action and the complicity of the Conservative government, the Labour opposition and the mainstream media has deeply affected those attending the marches. And isn't it ironic that while the protesters are condemned for chanting "to the river, to the sea" as anti-Semitic and extremist, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's use of the same phrase goes unchallenged. In fact, he is actively carrying out the very meaning behind those words. Let that sink in. It is evident that Labour and the Conservative parties are experiencing discomfort due to George Galloway's victory as MP for Rochdale. This highlights a disconnect between these parties and the people they are meant to represent. It will be intriguing to observe if this trend continues throughout the nation during the upcoming general election. Let's hope this is the start of things to come. Thanks for watching. Comment, share, like and subscribe. Out of here.